Good morning, everybody. Today I want to talk to you guys about personal finance as far as a budget, because I personally think that it is hard to own businesses or investments if you don't have your personal finance in order. Okay, so I'm just going to go over a couple little tips, tricks type of thing that I use for my personal budget. So essentially, I do use Excel actually for mine. I have used Mint in the past, where you can kind of link some accounts and get it automated, that type of thing. And also most banks, I found, do have some type of automation as far as combining and showing you the categories that you're actually spending in. A couple things that I've noticed is that it is really nice to budget when you have consistency. If your salary, or let's say you work at least 40 hours every single week, and so you know what your weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly paycheck should be. Okay, so that's the easiest. That's all I'm going to go over on this one here. But with that, a caveat is sometimes, if you get paid on the 4th, let's say, maybe you get paid on the 15th and the 30th every single month, or the 15th and the 20th. A lot of people get paid on the Friday. Well, sometimes the Friday is the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th even. Well, I personally, let's say my mortgage payment is due on the 1st. Okay, so I actually have to, if I pay it on the 5th, it might be late, and late fees, and then dings on my credit, and all that stuff, and that's not good. So I actually, and I think a lot of my tenants probably do this as well, if something's due at the very beginning of the month, when it might actually happen before my first paycheck, I have it come out of the last month, okay? Maybe kind of elementary, but I just thought I'd mention it. I have it come out of the last week of the previous month, okay? So this month, the 25th is that paycheck. That paycheck has to have next month's, that first 3 months, 3 days worth of bills paid on it, okay? So you don't have extra this month and then not enough the month before, okay? So you kind of do that. Another caveat on here is I do this in Excel, and you can do like simple, this minus this equals this, or the sum here. You can easily do some simple formulas, and then also too, you can look out during the whole calendar year and know when your Fridays or whatever day of the month that you get paid, kind of being able to figure those out as far as the consistency. And then I actually only budget in here in my Excel for my monthly charges, okay? My mortgage, car, utilities, insurance, and then also I do put in giving as well as investing and credit cards, because as far as the credit cards, I don't per se have credit card debt, but I put my groceries and my gas and things like that on a credit card, and then I pay that off every month. So I do have a budget for those, and I have that category here. Another thing to do is at the beginning, maybe the first 3 to 6 months I was working on this, I did spend quite a bit of time on this, but I don't actually focus too much on my regular personal finance budget. I only tweak it once there's changes. Look at it for the next year. Every time there's a job change or an increase in pay or something like that, then you can I go through, and before the raise even happens, before the last paycheck even gets there, I've already gone through the rest of the year or however long, and then tweaked all the different amounts. Okay, this is how much the income is going to be, and then this is how much we can then put towards this or that. Because I do desire to grow my real estate portfolio and provide more houses for people and do all that, then what I actually do is I put investing as a category. I put that as a bill, and so like this month I say I'm investing $320 and putting that in a savings account that I will later put in real estate. I'm not going to touch that, and I'm not going to lower that amount. So the water bill spikes a little bit, okay, well then I'm going to spend a little bit less on the credit card, okay? So I'm going to budget that out, because I'm telling myself that my investment here, I'm paying myself first, that is a bill. I'm saying it's a bill, and it's going to come out, okay? So yeah, there's that. As far as the credit card, so I'm budgeting to save and invest. This used to be to pay the extra to student loans and then to the emergency fund. Now it's to invest. So I have a plan. I'm not stressing over every little penny that I spend, but I do have a general plan here. And then each month, oh, the water bill is $56. Okay, tweaking that. Oh, the electric bill is only this. And I'm not spending too much time on it, but I have a plan for it. And then also, I do have a budget for each rental property, because honestly, guys, you do need to not commingle. You usually should. Most people will tell you have a separate books, checking, savings, and a credit card maybe for each property or each business that you own. And it should have a budget, right? I mean, you might have to pay a mortgage on it. You should have taxes and insurance. There might be utilities. There's an average maintenance. So you kind of need to plug all that in, and that's like for each one. So you kind of have to have your personal finance in order so that you can have some left over to save to get into a rental property. But then also you need to have then another budget system, whatever works for you, on each business that you own. So if you have 5 rental properties, then each one, if they're all different businesses, would need its own, you have maybe 5 mortgages, 5 water bills. You kind of need to figure all that out. And then the last thing I'll mention here, guys, I know this is a little bit longer video, is I budget for occasional expenses. So if it doesn't happen every month, I don't have it as a line item here. But if it's over $100, let's say my car insurance is $400 every 6 months. Christmas comes every 12 months. It's in December this year. Okay, so I spend some money at Christmas. My wife and I have decided that we want to spend, let's say, $600 on Christmas. Okay, travel, hotel, and some gifts. All right, well, I mean, this isn't, breaking news, but that's $50 a month. Okay, so then I have a occasional expenses line item in here that I've looked at for the full year. I have a full year budget, and then I said, okay, so $50 has to come out a month. I put that in a separate savings account that I don't see that's actually earmarked for Christmas. I take my I take my cats to the vet once a year. I have occasional oil changes. Sometimes there's car maintenance. My wife and I spend money on each other for birthdays. We have a budget for that, because I have a birthday every single year, and so does she. So then we know, if we decide we want to spend this, then we're going to set aside that. And then car insurance, license, and registration, all that stuff. So the occasional expenses, because it's not every month, I don't have it in here. I have one column in here that I actually take out and put in a separate savings account. So then every 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, when that expense comes along, I can just pull it out of that one savings account. I'm not really worried about that interest rate on that online account that I have. I'm more concerned, can I specify how user friendly is it? Okay, so that's just me personally. So overall budget here, I do it in Excel. Other things can automate it for you. I think you should have a plan. It's great when you have consistency. I'm still getting used to the inconsistency in my current career shift, but I do budget still to invest. I think that is super, super important, having a plan, and then you also have a plan for each property. And then lastly, again, guys, budgeting for those irregular or occasional expenses, because you should know that your car's going to have an oil change and that the holidays might come. So it's always good to do that. So hopefully this was somewhat helpful. Like, comment below. You guys have a good one. Thanks.